doing an experiment called elephant toothpaste. This is an exothermic reaction experiment. In an exothermic reaction, the energy released is greater than the initial energy. In other words, the output is greater than the input. Now, let's draw your attention to the graph. This is an exothermic reaction graph. On the y-axis, we have energy, and on the x-axis, we have the progression of the reaction. We start out with reactants, and we end with the product. Now, what we want is the reactant to get to the activation energy, which is the total amount of energy needed to be absorbed for the reaction to begin. Now, this right here is just the reaction starting and ending with the product. We end with a negative delta H because the total amount of energy of the products is greater than the initial amount of energy from the reaction or reactants. The total amount of energy of the products subtracted from the initial amount of energy from the reactants results in a negative number, which is the production of more heat than the initial amount. Some examples of the exothermic reaction are the digestion of food, the burning of substances, the setting of cement and concrete, and the oxidation of metals. Now, let's go on to the experiment itself.
In the elephant toothpaste experiment, our first reaction is a decomposition reaction. So you can see the example, AB breaks down to A plus B. Some examples in real life are water broken down into hydrogen and oxygen using electric current. Our second example is calcium carbonate broken down with heat into calcium oxide and carbon dioxide.
For elephant toothpaste, we will be using hydrogen peroxide, dishwashing detergent, food coloring, and potassium iodide.
Future. Future.
The overall reaction for this experiment was hydrogen peroxide breaking down into water and oxygen gas. So for our experiment, we mixed hydrogen peroxide, dishwashing detergent, and some food coloring to color the foam. Next, we added potassium iodide. The potassium iodide is what reacted with the hydrogen peroxide and acted as a catalyst to speed up the reaction. The hydrogen peroxide and the iodide solution cause a decomposition reaction. The dishwashing detergent provided a place for the oxygen gas to go after the reaction that had taken place. The water and the gas with the dishwashing detergent turned into foam and propelled out of the container. We ended up with a large amount of foam that sort of looked like a toothpaste an elephant might use. Also, we were able to see this reaction was exothermic because it produced a fair amount of heat.